Hey everybody, welcome back. So it's been quite a while since I made a video. This is my first video back on the
Roadside Garage
Guy LLC, which is the name of my business that I own. It's a roadside service company. So if you need to know how to unlock a car, or jump start a car, or change a tire or something like that, you could head over to that channel, and I got a bunch of how-to videos on that channel. But here on the
Roadside Garage
that I have here at the house, this one happens to be my 17-year-old son's. We got this one when he was 13 years old, and he's going to be 18 in April. And that's his Ranger over there. And head gasket went out, so we're going to put a new motor in that thing. But we figured we might as well get this up and running. You know, we got to get it up and running anyway. But with it being the year 2024 and, you know, New Year's resolutions and all that stuff, trying to get this done for the kid before he turns 18. Also, I'd like to have him drive it, you know, for his senior year in high school. I think that'd be pretty cool. I know, guys, I know he's gonna fucking tear it up. I hope he doesn't die in it. You know, I pray over that stuff. You know, you shouldn't give a 17 or 18-year-old kid a car like this, but, you know, it is what it is, guys. Kids are driving Hellcats and Scat Packs and Teslas and all sorts of stuff now. So what's a Fox Body Mustang really at the end of the day? Like, what am I really giving him? I'm not giving him a lethal weapon or anything. It's a car we bought for $700, put a $300 motor in it. Turns out the motor is out of a Ford Explorer. So that's what I'm going to be working on now, is getting the lower intake off, the valve covers and things like that. Even though I do know the lower intake is the same, we got another one though that we got cleaned up, and we're going to send it to powder coating this week, along with some of the pulleys and valve covers and all the correct stuff for the 5.0 Mustang GT, which this car does not have. So yeah, first day back at it. It's been like, I don't know, 6 months since I made a video on this channel. I got in a car accident, and then I just kind of put the Mustangs to the side for a while. I was doing content on the Roadside Guy channel, and I also do have a third channel called Carful, which consists of me going to car shows and showing some of my other cars that are not Fox bodies, because I do have, like, I don't know, 20-something cars. I got a Challenger up there on the lift. I got an old D150 sitting here, short box, that I'm redoing, put headers and exhaust and lowering everything on that one. But I've got a bunch of other vehicles out back, you know. Anyways, with all that being said, guys, I'm gonna spin the camera around and show you what we're working on today on Aiden's Fox Body. And of course, I always got Pesci with me. It's my little Boston Terrier. On currently is like I said, the valve covers are not the same, the headers are not the same. The lower intake is the same, but this thing's filthy. You can see there's like leaves and all sort of crap. I don't know why I didn't clean that up. Hey, this guy always wants to play. He thinks he's a pit bull. But anyway, you know, we want to get all that off and cleaned up and changed out. So I'm going to mark the distributor where I got to mark it at. Get this thing off, clean it all up. I got a broken stud right here, so we're going to get that out. We started cleaning it up and lubing it up with some penetrating oil, some PB Blaster. Sprayed down all the bolts for the exhaust here. And I'm just going to clean this up and get this stuff off and get it ready for all the correct stuff, which is, you know, got lower intake here. Aiden cleaned that up yesterday, did a good job doing that. We got factory 5.0 Mustang valve covers. We're trying to go mainly factory with this car. Alternator bracket, pulleys, stuff like that. We got all that stuff all out and ready to go to the powder coater. We got the upper intake here. We're going to send that off, and I'm going to try to get the same color, the factory color of like the cement gray. I'm not going to go with aluminum. I want this thing to look as factory as possible. So the valve covers, they're going to be that gray color. The upper intake is going to be that gray color, and then the lower intake is going to be the factory color, or well, not factory color, but the natural finish of the aluminum is what I meant to say, along with probably this bracket here. I'm not sure if we're going to powder coat that or keep that like an aluminum, so we'll see. But yeah, that's it. All the water pump cover, the timing cover, and the timing cover, get that all cleaned up. And I don't know where you put that bucket at. I swear I just saw it around here. Oh, there it is over there. All right, we'll put that in there and soak it. But yeah, that's what we're up to. So I guess I'll start getting that going. And come right back and check that out. Back from the powder coater, so I'm going to be trying to put the lower intake together and kind of round up all the stuff that I'm going to need at the parts store, and do a little bit of painting and cleaning of some like injectors and bolts and things like that. So I figured I'd show you guys what it looks like. Just got it back from the powder coater, and I think it looks pretty freaking good. Okay, so here is the lower intake. Got that powder coated in like aluminum. Now, it doesn't look as good as the natural finish, but it won't get as dirty, I don't think. So that's good. I gotta sand this down and paint it, so I'm gonna get some flat black paint at the parts store for that. Got these old dirty injectors here, so I'm gonna clean those up, and I got all the dirty old bolts and nuts in there. I'm gonna clean those up. Got the fuel rail somewhat cleaned up, but it could use a little bit more spiffing up. It doesn't look as mint as I would like it to look, so I'll probably take like a little bit of chrome polish or something and wipe that down pretty good. So that is the lower intake, all the stuff I got for that. I did forget to include the thermostat housing for the powder coater, so I got that up there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's everything we got going on with this thing today, and figured you guys would like to check it out. Maybe you guys are thinking about doing some powder coating to your intake as well, or your valve covers or what have you, and you wanted to see what someone else did. I did check out Fox Media because he had the best looking intake that I saw on YouTube, but I didn't see very many other videos on it, so I figured I'd make this one and kind of show you guys what it looks like. So there it is. It's done in pipe gray was the color that I chose for it, and I think it came out pretty good. Take a look here, show you guys the close-up. Pipe gray gloss, has a nice gloss to it. Looks really good. I think it came out really nice. Try to move this camera slow so you guys can see it. It still has the natural texture to it, so it's not like we didn't Bondo it up and smooth it out or anything, but I think that came out really nice. Get too much light back here, but I think it looks really good. and pipe gray. All right, so let me grab, what else was I gonna grab? Oh, the 5.0 plaque. Yeah, I got this 5.0 plaque off of eBay a couple of years back. All right, so I got the pulleys powder coated as well, so they look fresh and clean and brand new. And these are factory Ford pulleys. So this is the crank pulley here, and then got the other pulleys up here. I got double of everything, and then we got the so what else we got? So got the engine out, started to separate the transmission, but my helper had to leave, so and I got to leave to go do a couple of calls. So I do work on call. So of course I got a couple other brackets. I think I got the power steering bracket here. I got this from LMR, so it's a little bit duller than the pulleys, but you won't be able to tell. Then there's a couple other brackets in here from LMR. Kind of put all this stuff together, and yeah, that's it for the powder coating. Okay, so this is like a silver aluminum, not quite the same shade as the intake, so it has a little bit more contrast to it. But yeah, there's the alternator bracket, and I got the tensioner. Did the tensioner. I think that came out nice. That is factory Ford tensioner. The pulley, the bearing was all seized up inside here, but this is the correct pulley with the sides that come up like that. So I'm going to try to get a new bearing for this and redo the bearing, and then put that back in, probably just paint it. I don't know if I'll get it powder coated or not, but that is the original pulley. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. So here's the old lower intake, and yeah, it's crusty and dirty as hell. Here are the valve covers, and I think they came out pretty daggone good too. See if I can get you out here in the light. But yeah, that's also done in pipe gray, and I think those look great. What do you think, Pesci? They come out good? You don't care. All right, let's see if I can move this stuff, and I'll set these valve covers out here for you guys to check out. All right, let's see what it looks like out here in a little bit of the sun. I mean, it's cloudy out today, but it is January, so January in Florida. So, all right, there is one of the valve covers. Say that again?
Yeah, the cam number was the F3ZZ 6250, but this guy here, the piston, is the F3ZE Apple. And it'll have and it's got a number in there of a 3452, and it looks like a C or a G. I got
C, yeah.
Yeah, right up in this corner right here.
Yeah, it could be a G, but yeah.
Yeah, but now I can run, and I had those numbers, but I couldn't get it to come up with anything that was a 95 or a 96 Explorer or Mountaineer. So now we know it's not any of that. It's this 93.
93 HO
Thunderbird.
Out of a Thunderbird. Pretty interesting. And you said the engine was covered in some kind of film or something?
Well, yeah, it's just we put grease on this to keep anything from rusting, but it's just all this black gucky stuff. You can see, like here in the cylinder,
right?
You can see it, and we're just like, yeah.
Time to clean it up.
Yeah, and really to get it all out of there, and it's everywhere.
Yeah,
is just hot tank it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just hot tank it out, and
yeah. Does that look like it was bent or something?
Yeah, something got a hold of that and crushed it at one time.
Okay, because I was thinking that was kind of weird when I saw that earlier.
That should be
have flow to it.
Yeah, that's a flow killer right
there. Yeah.
So little pickup too. They're not bad. But
there it is.
yeah.
Well, Aiden will be happy, you know,
Yeah.
of a rebuilt engine in both of his vehicles. So hopefully they'll last him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got
Bearings.
rod bearings, and you can see it started getting into the copper.
Oh yeah.
Right here, it went past the aluminum and made it down to
oil at first, but no.
Yeah, no, it made it down two layers. This one is copper.
Wow.
So you can see it just barely started to get into the copper. So it's a little scratched.
Yeah.
And that means that we can either get this thing turned, and ground down and 10-10 it.
Right.
And then the cylinders have a little bit of stuff in them, so we're going to talk about that. Where, you can see the area up here, and you can also kind of feel it on the ridge. And it can get knocked out, but then the pistons are going to be running a little bit on the loose side.
Right. So it's better just to kind of punch it over.
It's better just to punch it over. The minimal that it can go. Like this one here would probably take either 10, 20 tops. 20 would be a clean hit and clean everything up. And get the crank taken care of, bearing everything, and then at the same time do the oil pump and stuff.
Yeah.
So the cam being a 444 and it's a HO, you're running open exhaust on it.
Yeah. No caps.
What's that?
All right, go ahead.
So this bearing assembly right here, this spinner, makes this valve spring a little bit shorter than this guy.
Right.
Because if you put the same spring underneath each one, this guy's going to compress a little bit more, and then it's going to start taking it to the lifters and then the cam lobe. Even though they're rollers, it's going to take it to the needles inside the lifter first.
Right.
So that's the whole deal on it. So it's kind of cool. These are 61 cc heads, but then with the piston it goes down to a 30.
And these were, let's flip them one more time. These were the
E7 heads.
E7 heads.
Yeah, if you look anything up, you're going to go GT40, GT40P, and then E7.
Gotcha.
You're going to go E7. Those are the three that do whatever. So these are good because they got the angle plugs in them.
Right.
And that makes it easier to put them around the little, shorty tube headers, which basically those kind of are.
Yeah.
But the valves are just a hair smaller in these than the GT40 and the 40Ps. And then you get this, which is the piston. It's almost a flat top, but then you can see a little 30 thousandths dip right here.
Right.
And I mean, you imagine 30 thousandths right here. That's how much more lift the B303 cam would be.
Right.
So there's a lot of discrepancies in what the B303 cam can and can't do. But Joe, we were getting into your thing that you brought up about 3 weeks ago, or what, Thanksgiving or something? Side load, thrust load, flipping a piston.
Flipping the pistons, yeah.
Yeah, watch this. You got to step straight in line right here.
Okay.
And draw an imaginary line right on through the wrist pin.
Right.
But look at the closeness between here and here, and then here and here.
Right.
So you get the thrust side of the piston on the shorter side to sit there and do it. And that's why pistons are marked front.
Right, because there's a little bit more on this side
Right.
than that
So
side.
the front side is, we took this one off of this side. So the narrow side right here is to the outboard bank because it's on this bank over here. So the thrust side is, it's shorter distance on the straightness of the pin to the skirt. This is your thrust side, is the short side here. And then again over here, then it puts the thrust side here, and it puts it here. So basically you can say it's here, and then you can say it's here. So you're at the top of the cylinder bore, then you're at the bottom of the cylinder bore, because the crank rotation is
Right.
going this
Pushing
way.
and pulling.
Right, it's actually kind of pushing that thrust side this way and then the thrust side this way against this, because
Right.
the block is stationary. It doesn't know, it's just got the stuff coming at it.
Right.
And that's a big, huge argument that people do all the time, is they can't get it when you tell them to flip a piston and sit there and do this and make it a little bit less stressful.
Yeah.
The problem is then people have like a little bit of oil usage, or they have something going on where they say, hey, it makes a little bit more noise, you know, than normally it would. But for drag racers, it works.
Yeah.
You know. But
Yeah. Uncle Tony covered that one time on his YouTube channel, and that's when the roadkill guys got all over him about it.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a thing on that. I watched one time.
Yeah.
And, you know, then they kind of got away from the gray area because there were too many arguments over it.
Yeah.
You know, they don't just have, which, you know, we could be off 5,000ths because we were just doing a quick read with it, but that's a 1.6 rocker arm.
Right.
So if we take and do a 1.7 rocker arm and it works on these heads, then it goes up to a 471 lift, and the B303 is like a 480 lift, or a 484. It's like a 480 or 484.
Right.
So that brings it up really close. The only thing I have to look at is, well, not really look at, if we switch cams, then we got to sit there and question the valve springs, which we know we got to replace anyway, just to make sure that they're tight, you know, that they're fresh. And if we keep this and we can get a 1.7 and get away with that 471, that kicks it down. I mean, you're talking thousandths of an inch. You're talking 10,000ths or something.
Yeah.
But it's going to keep that profile. It's going to keep the profile of the cam on the lift, the duration of time, and everything else is going to be exactly the same. It's just going to have a little bit more lift. The problem with when you switch to a different cam and go more aggressive is your lobe separation usually gets tightened up. You go from 116 down to like 112, which the B303 is. Then you turn around and you have longer duration and stuff. That's where you get your drivability problems coming off the bottom end.
Right.
So if we can get lift without giving up the bottom end,
Then
dude, that'd be pretty rocking.
that'd be a lot better.
That'd be
yeah.
a lot better. You know,
And cheaper.
It could be just a set of rocker arms, and we're going to buy springs anyway.
Yeah.
And we're looking to see if we can duplicate those rocker arms, or like a cheap little roller set where it's got the little roller for the valve, you know, the valve stem tip.
Mm-hmm.
If we can do that, and they bolt right on there, why not? It could be as much as a matter of it could be as little as rocker arms, or it could be as much as rocker arms and maybe some push rods that are like 20,000ths of an inch longer. You know, push rods are pretty cheap. So that's what we're looking at.
That'd be cool.
And I'd really like to put in Chloe's timing chain set that's adjustable. So
Okay.
on the crank gear, so that we can dial in the cam and
Okay.
really make it work good instead of just setting up a factory. 'Cause
Yeah.
Chloe's does. They make it where you can sit there and adjust that camshaft.
A little more
and-
fine tuning.
You can exactly. You can adjust or retard it. 2 degrees on the crank is 1 degree on the cam, and you could sit there and adjust it and kick little increments and get it right on the money, or sometimes advance the cam just a hair by 1 or 2 degrees, and maybe as much as 4.
All right, so we're getting ready to put the engine in the Mustang. Got it all painted up, looking nice. Did it in the Ford Gray for 91, and got the transmission a little bit ready. We didn't paint the bottom of it yet. Paint didn't come in time, but we're gonna put it up there and paint it with some AutoZone. This is what I painted with the first time, the Seymour. If it'll focus, which is way better than the AutoZone stuff. See how nice it looks, like real aluminum. But I ordered 2 more cans of this and it didn't come in yet, so I ordered some, or went up to AutoZone and got this stuff here, which is a lot crappier than the Seymour, but it'll work. And we're just gonna mount the transmission up to the motor and then get her down into the car and hopefully get it mounted up today, and we can start getting this thing finished up. Putting the engine in, and it started raining. Go figure. And we got it bagged up.
Okay.
Motor's in. For the win. Let's check it out. Look at that. Pretty cool.
Start gathering.